Hi everyone, it's Francine from Purposeful Credit Solutions. I'm back to making videos, back to starting my YouTube channel, back to posting on a regular basis. I'm doing a lot on I'm posting a lot on Twitter because I'm so into the whole presidential election and everything. So I'm back. So if you haven't liked my page or subscribed to my page, please do so now. I'm just starting my YouTube channel and I didn't realize, I'm like, oh my God, to upload videos, it's so much work. And I went back and looked at some of my videos and I'm thinking, why didn't somebody tell me my lips were all crusty and stuff was all up in my eyes and stuff? I'm like, I can't use any of these videos. So anyway, I had to go back and listen to all of them and I deleted most of those out. And so I'm going to start a new batch of videos. I have a ton of stuff I want to talk to you about. The biggest thing too, I just thought about this. A lot of times I want to talk about how the economy, how I want to talk more about personal finances and how it impacts you personally. I will definitely talk about credit. We'll talk about budgeting. But I'm rebranding myself as a personal finance educator because what I found out is that people are lacking the basic knowledge when it comes to your personal finances. Like, I talk to a lot of people about cars all the time. I recently had a client and we were going back and forth about cars and having them understand what APR means and how it impacts your finances and how it hinders your ability to create wealth. When you have a car loan and it's at 25% APR, annual percentage rate, that's the annual percentage rate you're going to pay on that auto car balance. And people don't understand that kind of basic finance principle. And so I spend a lot of my time when I do free consultations, when I sign up clients, I have to spend a lot of time educating them about about personal finances, car buying, credit card buying, how the interest rate impacts you if you carry a balance, why it's so important to pay off your cards every month, how to increase your score, and how FICA looks at your score when it's trying to calculate it, and what are the factors involved in your score. I do a lot of educating when you become my client, especially with budgets and when you want to buy a house and when you want to buy a car and how you have to have a budget in order to do those things. So I'm rebranding myself as a personal finance educator. But what I wanted to talk to today is I recently wrote a little, I don't know. I wrote a post. It's pretty long. It's about credit myths. I call it Credit Myths 101. And what it is that I've seen people come to me and want me to help them after they went to other credit repair agencies, and they didn't feel comfortable about certain things. They didn't fully understand what they were signing. They didn't fully understand what that credit repair agency was going to do. So I want to talk about those things because it's very important, because there's so many people out there that have credit repair agencies, and you need to understand what we do, very important how we do it. I tell you what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. For example, I just recently helped somebody get a checking account because they were on ChexSystems. And so after I did the work, I disputed the account, but there were certain things that I had to do. The first thing that I had to do was I had to freeze their ChexSystems report so no bank can access it, and then I sent them to a bank that didn't use ChexSystems. And one of the banks that do not use ChexSystems is BB, B like in boy, B like in boy, V like in Victor, A like in Apple, BBVA. They don't use ChexSystems. Once you freeze it, wait a week. Wait a day or two. I wouldn't even say wait up to a week. Let the account freeze. Let the ChexSystem account freeze, and then go to these banks that do not use ChexSystems. And then I had to explain to my client the difference between early warning services and then ChexSystems, because Wells Fargo, B of A, and Chase, there may be another bank, I don't know, but those are the three major ones. They use EWS. Bank of America doesn't use EWS. They don't use ChexSystems. So I give my clients all that information, and so they can be able to open up a checking account. I mean, he was using, I forgot what he was using actually. And it wasn't working for him. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't working for him. So that's why I rebranded myself as a personal finance educator. So let's start with credit myths. Credit myths 101. The first one, buying CPNs. C like in cat, P like in Paul, N like in Nancy. Buying CPNs. They're illegal. And CPNs are credit protection numbers. They're really for people, if you're like a movie star, like a Will Smith, a Jada Pinkett Smith, and I don't know, whoever, or you're in the witness protection program, they give people credit protection numbers because, if you're trying to apply for insurance, let's say car insurance, they have to run a clue report. And so they're like, ooh, that's Will Smith. Look at his SSN number. So they give CPNs out to people like that and to witness protection. So that number will mask their Social Security number. But to buy one is illegal. It's just flat out illegal. I don't care what nobody says. You come on my channel and tell me, no, they're not legal. They're legal. Yeah, they are. They're illegal. They're illegal. Because what happens is when you take that credit protection number and you're applying for credit, you're certifying that everything on that application is true and correct, which means you're certifying that CPN number that mimics a Social Security number is true and correct. And that's a lie. That's fraud. I have seen many instances where people are sent to jail for using those CPN numbers. So don't buy them, don't use them. It's much easier just to rebuild your credit. And secondly, even if you do get it, you haven't had a change of mindset or anything. So you're going to run up that credit. You're going to mess it up. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad or trying to judge you or anything. I'm just telling you what it is. There's no change of mindset. You haven't changed your mindset. You haven't begun to understand that you need to be paying your credit cards off every month in full. You need to create a budget. You need to make your payments on time. If you're not doing that, you're going to just ruin that CPN number anyway. So why not just rebuild your credit, learn about what credit is and why it's so important for you, start changing your mindset, which may be harder than you think, and then you don't have to worry about bad credit ever again. Okay? So the next thing that people do that doesn't help at all is when you decide that you're going to fix your credit, good for you. And I did this and I didn't understand what this meant. I did this years ago when I didn't understand what I did understand. I just didn't think it mattered, but it does matter. Is that it's called credit sweeps. And what credit sweeps are is when you look at all the negative information on your account, it could be negative and positive, and you say, it's all not mine, I need you to take all of it off. So you're sweeping your account of all your account information. Well, why would you do that? You need those positive accounts on your credit report. Positive accounts on your credit report are more important than negative accounts, and I'll get into that in a future video. But why? I mean, that account information is all yours. So why are you telling the credit reporting agency that it's not? That's fraud. That can be considered fraud too. And some credit repair agencies will ask a customer to go down and sign a notarized statement saying, oh, this is not mine. Oh my God, I would not do that. And if you're in that situation, you need to extrapolate. You need to get yourself out of that situation as soon as possible. And you tell your credit repair person, you're not going to do that. Truthfully, you're not going to do that. Okay? So don't get sucked into those credit sweeps. Reputable credit repair agencies will use factual disputing. Factual disputing is where people look at your credit report and they'll dispute certain aspects of an account, like, hey, this is a typical letter for dispute letter for me. Hey, and it's very casual, and this is how I write it. I don't recall that balance for this account. Can you verify that for me? What? I don't recall making a payment on this account, this collection account. I don't recall these people. And a lot of times you can. Do you know the balance of your credit cards right now? The exact balance? No, you don't. Just say, can you verify that for me? And you're well within the right to do that. And you're not lying. You're just saying, hey, can you verify this for me? And what they'll do is the credit reporting agency, which is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, will go back to the credit furniture, which is a credit card company. And they'll say, hey, this consumer, John Smith, is asking you to verify this account for them. Can you do that? And they do it all electronically. That's a whole nother video. Anyway, whole nother video. Either they're going to come back and say it's yours. If they don't respond, it used to be 30 days. I used to give them 35 days. Now, due to COVID, now it's 40 to 45 days. Sometimes it's even more. They'll come back to you and they'll say, either they'll verify it, or they'll say they didn't respond to your request at all. And now the credit reporting agency, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax have to delete it. So, do not do credit sweep. Do not do a credit sweep, and do not state that account that you know is yours, and state it's not mine. Don't do that. There's other ways you can repair your credit. Okay. The next one is, you don't have to delete all the negative information off your credit reports in order to improve your credit. You just don't have to. You don't need to. Couple of reasons why. The biggest, when you start disputing your credit, you need to plan out your dispute. And what happens is, planning it out means you're going to go through all of your credit reports from all 3 credit bureaus, and you're going to see which accounts that are impacting your score the most. And those accounts they're negative accounts from the last 24 months. Any negative account from the last 24 months, you need to dispute. Negative accounts are repossessions, collections, late payments, public records, charge-offs. Those are the negative accounts you're going to focus on when you're improving your credit. If you were late on an account 10 years ago, child, leave that alone. That ain't even impacting your score. I'm telling you, I'm FCRA certified. I'm a FICO certified. That's not impacting your account. Don't even waste your time on it. You're like, it's the principal. It's not no principal. Leave it alone. It's 10 years ago. Most people are not going to even care. Okay? It's only the negative accounts for the last 24 months. Student loans. You were late on your student loans. You need help getting your student loans out of default status. And that's, if you are in default status right now, you really need to start working on your student loans while you're in quarantine. That's the number one priority you should be working on now. Please contact me for a free credit student loan consultation, and I can help you. I'm a student loan magician, because I have helped myself many times, and I have done wonders for people. It is a lot of work because they make a lot of errors. Student loans are rife with errors. I can't believe how many errors they have on student loans until I started looking at them, comparing them, auditing them, looking at them line by line, letter by letter, and seeing how many errors there are. Student loans have a ton of errors. Ton of errors. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. I have seen at least, oh my God, more than 80 to 90% of people that have student loans, they're riddled with errors. I had this one guy, and his loans were sold, and they never closed out the old loans. And so they were like reporting, like they were like doubling up the balance, and then they had those old loans in like delinquent status. And so I mean, it was like, he was one of like the first people I really got involved with doing student loans. And by the time I finished, and I didn't charge him enough because that was just crazy, his score jumped 100 points. He was so happy. He gave me a really good Yelp review. He really did, because he was so ecstatic, because it took me hours to figure that stuff out. So if you're having those kind of major student loan issues, please, please contact me for a free consultation. I'm very reasonable. I accept monthly payments, but you really, right now especially, you really need to get your loans in current status, okay? So you don't have to delete all the negative information from your credit reports. The most important thing you need to do is you need to add positive account information to your credit report. If your whole credit report has a bunch of negative accounts, you need to start rebuilding your credit and add positive accounts to your credit report. Namely, you need to add a credit card to your credit report. Again, you need to add a credit card account to your credit report. Ooh, that's a lot. You have to show lenders you know how to manage your credit responsibly. If you can't get a credit card, I'm going to give you a freebie right here. Go to firstprogress.com and let them know that they have 100% approvals. The only time they won't approve you is that if you have an active bankruptcy. If it hasn't been discharged, then you're going to have to wait until that bankruptcy is discharged. But everybody else, you need to go somewhere and get a secured credit card. I say First Progress because they have 100% approval rate. Okay? You have to add positive accounts to your credit report. The reason why I say credit card is because there's 5 components of your credit score. Oh, Lord, tonight. Late payments, utilization, which I think is by far one of the most important aspects of your credit report, length of credit history, inquiries, and credit mix. And so late payments and utilization comprise 65% of your credit score. Utilization, to me, I just think it's the most important part. I just do. So once you get a credit card and add it on there, do not max it out. My God, do not max it out. Charge. First Progress will let you pay. I think they'll let you go up to $2,000 credit limit. If you can do that, that's perfect. Start with $200 and keep adding to it all the time. And start and pay it off. No, don't pay it off. Leave $2 or $3 on there, and then pay it off after the credit card statement generates. I'll talk about that in a future video too. Okay, so adding positive credit card accounts to your credit reports is just major. It's the most important thing you can do when you're rebuilding credit, and you need to manage it responsibly. Meaning, do not max out your credit cards. I cannot even say that enough. Okay. So, buying trade lines. Don't buy a trade line. Don't even waste your money. Trade lines are expensive, and you can just go ahead and get your credit repaired fixed. You can just go ahead and just repair your credit before you buy a trade line. If you're going to buy a trade line, it just seems to me you're just going to just wreck your credit in the next couple of months or so. So if that's what you're going to do, okay, do that. But if you're serious about rebuilding your credit, don't buy a trade line. If you have someone like a parent or an auntie or something that can add you to their credit cards as an authorized user, do that. But don't buy a trade line. Don't buy a trade line. Just take that money, invest in credit repair, invest in yourself so you can learn about personal finances so you don't have to be in this position again. That's my best advice. You got to educate yourself on the home buying process, on the buying a car process, about credit cards, about loans. Okay, and then signing contracts. If you don't feel comfortable about any contract, don't sign it. And don't feel so pressured to sign contracts because you think you need something. My God, that's how people get stuck in these huge car loans because they're like, oh, I need a car. I would take Uber before I sign a contract with 35% interest. With a 35% APR. I'm seeing those kind of contracts come through. You'll never get out of debt signing stuff like that. And we're going to talk about that later on, but those are my credit myths. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. And I'll see you soon with another video. Again, subscribe to my page. My name is Francine Rogers, Purposeful Credit Solutions, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.